So Michael Irvin's a broadcaster, former Cowboy great. He was talking the other day, probably on the NFL Network, and his quote was, the NFL quarterbacks and players now have the power to move. That's something that's been furnished to other sports. He says, but it also means they have the power to leave a team and to come to a team, and Russell Wilson wants Dak Prescott's chair. So I have a theory on this, is that when Tom Brady married Gisele Bündchen, a supermodel whose net worth is higher than Tom, she makes more than Tom. When you go home at night, what do you talk to your wife about? You talk to your wife about kids. That's a big part of it. And you talk to your wife about your businesses, if you're both professionals. Tom Brady is different since he married Gisele. His brand, TB12, is bigger. He got much savvier with his business. He did more commercials. He was more... from the gyms to his branding. He got a TB12 into Whole Foods in the Northeast. He's different. He's a little more global. That's his sounding board. That's his number one ally. And she's, by the way, got, a litany of professionals she works with. So she's got her professionals and the marketing people in her life. And now Tom goes home every night and listens to Gisele say, this is what I'm hearing. And it does change you. And now Ciara, Russell Wilson's wife, is not, as terms of a brand, is not Gisele Bündchen, but she's an entertainer. And I don't think it wasn't lost on me last week when the four teams Russell Wilson named were all like entertainment cities: Vegas, New Orleans, Chicago, and the Dallas Cowboys. You don't think of Dallas as entertainment, but the Cowboys are entertainment. And I don't think, a couple years ago, Russell Wilson, there was a rumor out there about trading Russell Wilson, and he was unhappy. What a shock. It was New York. And I just want you to think about this. Think about Dak Prescott is about somewhere between the 8th and 12th best quarterback in the NFL. You can put him wherever you want, but that's reasonable. Dak Prescott, 2 years ago, had made $50 million in endorsements. Pepsi, Citigroup, 7-Eleven, New Era Cap, Sleep Number, Campbell's Soup. Russell Wilson had Bose. So Russell Wilson goes home in Seattle and sits in his house and watches it rain. And Dak Prescott goes to his house in Dallas and watches it rain, money and endorsements. Dak Prescott's like the 10th, 12th best quarterback in the NFL, maybe slightly better. 50 million endorsements as an NFL player 2 years ago. I heard that number this morning. I was like, what? I mean, what's Patrick Mahomes going to make? What's Aaron Rodgers make? So when I look at these, I absolutely think Russell Wilson, who is very aspirational, do I think he sits and thinks about that? Oh, all the time. There's stories like 2 weeks ago or a week ago in The Athletic where he went to the Super Bowl and he was just seething watching Brady. So not everybody is like this. Some people, they go play football. Nick Foles just wants to play football. He almost quit twice. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Russell Wilson sees himself as an all-time great. And when you see yourself as an all-time great and you're buried up in the Pacific Northwest where it's techie and coffee and rainy and not really an endorsement mecca, and then you look at Dak Prescott, and I can guarantee you he and his agent, Mark Rogers, know he's making $50 million. By this time, it could be $100 million. And if Dak is the same price as Russell Wilson's also aware of that. So there's no doubt in my mind Russell Wilson and Ciara would not lose any sleep number, if you're talking Dak, would not lose any sleep switching teams with Dak or going to the Cowboys. And by the way, the Cowboys, what do they keep showing Russell Wilson and outsiders? We like Dak. They like him, but no contract. So that's the image the Cowboys sent out to all of us, including Russell Wilson. We like Dak. So people say this wouldn't happen. I don't know. Jerry Jones, the deal maker. Pete Carroll, by the way, runs the Seahawks now. He's a deal maker. He gave up 2 first-round picks to get Jamal Adams. He may want those first-round picks back. Joey Taylor with the news.